What's up guys, Simply Coco here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Let's Chat video. Today we're going to be discussing scenarios in The Sims 4. If you don't know, The Sims 4 had an Inside Maxis live stream yesterday where they announced a few different things that are coming to the base game along with the very next base game update, which is going to include scenarios. They also announced that they're adding some artwork done by some Latin, either is it Latin American, I believe, like by a Latin American artist, is getting added to the base game. And then one of the hairs it's a toddler hair that I want to say it came with Parenthood. I don't know for sure, but they're adding that to the base game as well. Basically their explanation is they want to add, the reason why they take stuff that is in, downloadable like content that costs, and they're adding some of those things to the base game because they want people to be able to they want to add more representation to the base game. And so some of these objects that are locked behind DLC, you have to pay to get that representation. So they want to put it in the base game, which I understand. But at the same time, I don't like that they take it from DLC. But that's a story for a whole nother day. This video is specifically about scenarios. So I just wanted to quickly say what else they announced. Oh, and they announced some new form of like update, but it's not really an update. I forget what it's called. It was like Sims Delivery or something like that. And they're basically going to be small little updates or small little fixes, or if they want to add a new window, or if they want to add a new door, or if they want to add a new article of clothing. They're going to give us these smaller little updates that won't require an entire patch. And they're also going to they won't require an entire patch update, and they won't break your mods or anything like that. So that's everything they announced. But we're going to be talking about scenarios. As you can tell by the title of this video, I don't want them. I don't want the scenarios. I don't. Not in the way that they're doing them. Whenever they first announced it, said, hey, scenarios are coming to The Sims, I was like, excuse me, what? What's coming to The Sims 4? What is the scenario? What is the scenario? I was really excited. I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be so cool. Whatever it is. I don't know why I got my hopes up, but within 2 minutes, I was already disappointed. I don't like that it's a new way to start the game. So when you open up your games menu, you're going to have new game, load game, and new scenario. And so you click on new scenario, and they're adding 2 at launch, which are Making Money and Finding Love After a Breakup. Making Money just is basically their version of Rags to Riches. You choose that scenario, you create a sim, you move into a lot with the 20K that your sim gets, and as soon as you move into that lot, your sim's money goes to 0, and then it gives you goals to reach 1 million simoleons. Basically their way of putting rags to riches officially in game. And then the other one is Finding Love After a Breakup. That one's kind of self-explanatory. I don't know what the requirements or anything are gonna be. No one does yet. But then you play these scenarios, and it's like, what do you do after the fact? I don't know. I just don't like that it's a new way to begin a new game. I wish they had implemented the scenarios into the pre-existing gameplay instead of making it kind of like its own separate thing. And I saw someone say this somewhere, but basically it seems like the scenarios are basically going to be a rebranding of the aspirations. You're going to with the aspirations, you choose an aspiration, and then it gives you a list of tasks that you have to complete in order to successfully complete the aspiration. Same thing with the scenarios. You start a new scenario, you start a new save or whatever. I don't know if it makes a new save, but you start a new scenario and then it gives you tasks that you have to complete in order to complete the overall scenario. Basically aspirations. And so I wish they wouldn't have made it a whole like separate thing within itself. I wish they would have integrated it into the gameplay. Like, I don't know what I thought it was gonna be when they said we're adding scenarios, but I imagine it being like, let's say you're in a save file, you're playing, we're having a good time, and then all of a sudden a random pop-up comes on the screen. You know, like how in Parenthood you get random pop-ups of like what the kids are doing in school, and then you get to choose an option, and then based on whatever option you choose, it gives your kids, you know, more emotional control or bad manners or whatever. Or in how I think this got added with either Eco Lifestyle or Snowy Escape, where you get that random pop-up where it's like, I'm calling on behalf of your long lost second cousin twice removed, and if you get married within 7 days, I'll give you this inheritance. I wish scenarios were like that, where you're already playing the game, and then just a random, because of something you do in the game, a random pop-up comes up, and it says, blah, 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 whatever it is. Let's take, for example, what's the scenario? The making money. Let's take that as an example. Let's say you're playing the game, having fun. You came up with your own storyline in your head. You're just playing. And then all of a sudden, maybe right after your sim pays the bills, or right after your sim orders food or orders groceries or orders something off the internet, maybe a pop-up comes up that says, your sim's bank account just got hacked and all their money has been taken away. What will your sim do to get their money back? Question mark. And then there's two options: accept this scenario and deny this scenario. So then it still would give you the choice whether or not you want it to play out the scenario. You don't have to, but if you want that, if you want that aspect of the gameplay, then you could choose to accept the scenario. And then once you accept the scenario, then it gives you the list of tasks you must complete in order to get your sim's money back. That would be cool. That's something that happens in real life. Identity theft, stuff like that. That would have been cool. Or if we take, for example, the finding love after a breakup. Let's say your sim is caught cheating, or let's say your sim's partner is caught cheating, or let's say they fight for whatever reason and your sim and their significant other, they break up. Maybe a week passes sim's time, maybe 2 weeks pass sim time, and then out of nowhere a pop-up comes up that says it's been X amount of weeks since insert your sim's name here broke up with so and so. Is your sim ready to find love again? Question mark. And then it gives you the option to accept the scenario or to deny the scenario. And if you accept it, then it gives you a list of tasks to complete in order to find love after you've broken up however long ago. And if you deny it, you go back playing as you were, no change. I think that would have been a better way to implement these scenarios. Because then they're also, like I said, they're only launching 2 when they update it. They're only giving us 2 to start, and then they're gonna add more later. I assume more scenarios will come with like new packs that come out. So like whatever the next expansion pack is will come with 2 new scenarios that are exclusive to that expansion pack. And then they also said they're gonna be doing scenarios that are only limited time, like how they recently did that in-game music festival that you could only access for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. they're going to be adding scenarios that are limited time, that you can only do for however long. I don't like that either. Like the one where they add it in a expansion pack, they add 2 or 3 scenarios that's specific to an expansion pack or a game pack. That makes sense to me. But adding them randomly, I don't know, kind of sucks because I can see myself and a lot of other Sims YouTubers really getting some good content out of these scenarios, because as soon as this update comes out, every single person is going to be playing through these scenarios. Every single Sims YouTuber is going to be playing through these scenarios. But most Sims YouTubers are also builders. I mostly build unless I'm doing a let's play, which is not very often. So if you have these limited time scenarios, I may miss 2 scenarios because I don't have time to sit down and play through them. I know that's not the Sims team's problem, it's mine, but I just feel like, why make them limited time? Just give us like, would it really hurt anything to just, you add 2 here, add 3 there, add 5 scenarios here, add 1 here, add 2 here, and then just leave them all in the list? I mean, would that slow down our games? I don't know. I will say they are trying. I like that they're trying new things. I like that they are trying to give us more gameplay. But at the end of the day, this isn't new gameplay. People have been doing rags to riches forever in The Sims 4. Like, yeah, now it's going to be like an official part of the game, but there's no new gameplay being added just because your sim starts with 0 simoleons. All you have to do is get a job. All you have to do is get your sim a job, and they're going to make money every single day. Like, that's all you have to do. I mean, yeah, the goal is to get to 1 million, but you could get once you go to your first days of work and you get paid, you can come home, buy an easel, and then just paint a bunch of shit and sell it, and there you go. Like, you're easy money. So like, I like that it's a challenge, but at the same time, I don't know. And then finding love after a breakup is also going to be really self-explanatory and really easy, because all you have to do is go and spam the romance reaction with some random sim, and then boom, you found love after your breakup. Like, it doesn't add anything new. It doesn't even really expand upon the existing gameplay. All these scenarios are doing, at least with the 2 that they announced, all they're doing is giving you a new way, not even a new way. It's giving you steps to complete a task that is already possible in the game. Does that make sense? Like, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. Like, I don't know what they could have added to make it new, but I guess like I said, they've only announced 2 scenarios. So maybe once they give us more, it'll actually add new gameplay. But with these 2 that they announced, there's no gameplay. It's just giving you a step-by-step guide on how to do stuff that's already possible in the game. What is that? It's kind of like with every new pack that comes out, they release an aspiration that basically walks you through the pack. Like, yeah, that pack might not have new gameplay, but like, give me an aspiration that doesn't just walk me through everything that's in the new pack. I don't know. I just feel like I like that they're trying, but scenarios in the way that they're presenting them, I don't like it. I don't need it. I don't necessarily want it. I'll probably play these first 2 when the update comes out, but after that, because then that's another thing. There's no replay value. You're giving us 2 to start. You're gonna insert some other ones here and there that'll be limited time. Others will come with packs. Yeah, but how many will there be total? Because once we go and play these 2, Are you ever going to go back and do that again? Once you play this making money scenario, are you ever going to go back and do it again? Once you play this finding love after a breakup scenario, will you ever go and play it again? Will you ever start a new game by pressing new scenario and go and play those again? Once we get 10 of them and you've completed all 10 of them, are you ever going to go do them again? That's what we need in The Sims 4 is replay value. We need new gameplay and new gameplay that we don't mind playing all the time. Like there's always something new to do with this new gameplay. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like I said, maybe once we start getting more than just these two aspirations, I'm calling them aspirations. Maybe once we get more than just these two scenarios, it'll add more. But right now, I'm not feeling it. I'm not digging it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said, if they integrated it into the game with those pop-ups, with those pop-up examples that I mentioned earlier, if they did that, that would be a new way to play the game. Because it happens randomly. You don't know when it's going to happen. You can choose whether you do it or not. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having to make the decision to click a new scenario and play it out. That doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like it should have been integrated into the pre-existing gameplay, especially if they weren't going to add any new gameplay with it. Like, nobody likes Bust the Dust, apparently, but that was a new way to play the game. These scenarios are not that. We're not going to get new objects with scenarios that allow us to have a new kind of gameplay. There's not going to be a scenario that adds cars to the game where you have to drive around. It's just not I just don't know why these are a thing in the way that they're doing them. And I don't know. Again, it's nice that they're trying, but I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be a miss. Again, I'm not saying it's not going to be fun. I just feel like it's not a new way to play, in my opinion. It's just things we've already been able to do, but now put into the game officially with a step-by-step guide in order to complete these scenarios. So that's my thoughts. Of course, I'm going to make a video on them once the update happens. And I'll even do a whole video on my thoughts on the scenarios. And then as they come out, however they're going to release them, as they come out, I'll do videos on them here and there. But other than that, I just wanted to, hop over to Twitter, and I have 4 comments from people that I want to read in their reactions to the scenarios. So let's go do that. Okay, so here we are on Twitter. So it's just these first 4 that I saved. They're in my likes because I didn't want to lose them. But I'm going to read this one last because this one has a lot to do with what I was saying. But Shroom Boy or Shroom God says, The Sims 4 scenarios seem completely pointless. There's no depth. It's just making the challenges like Rags to Riches official. That's exactly what I said. This isn't what the game needs. 100%. I'm going to retweet it because that's exactly it. It's pointless. There's no depth. It's just making challenges like Rags to Riches an official part of the game. It's excuse me. It's like Little Simsy in her video about the scenarios mentioned how with Tiny Living, they saw that everyone in the Sims community that we were already building tiny homes, so they made it an official part of the game. Now, I'm not complaining about Tiny Living because it's the best stuff pack probably ever, but it's technically not a new way to play. Moving on. At Mindflower says, personally, I don't hate the scenario feature in The Sims 4, but I'm probably not going to play it. No hate to the gurus, but it's just not my play style. And then Captain Merrick says, maybe the real reward for the Sims 4 scenarios is the friends and experience your Sims make along the way. I'm not sure what they mean by that. Maybe, okay, I think I see what she's saying. Like, maybe while you're going through the process of completing these scenarios, you'll make your sim will make friends, or your sims will have experiences that happen to them along their way to completing the scenario. Maybe that's what she means. Maybe. Yeah, but I mean, you can already make friends in the game. Your sim can already have like, that would be cool if they made memories. Like, if your sims had memories, and maybe like, do we have a memory system in the game? I don't think so. We're like, I'm gonna follow Pierre Sims. We're like, your sim completes a scenario, and then when they're an adult, at some point they like, a buff pops up where they randomly remember that scenario. Where is that? Like, memories? Do we? We don't have memories in The Sims 4, do we? That should be a thing. That could have been something they added, and added some gameplay based off those memories. Like, maybe your sim had a boyfriend as a teen. Maybe your sim had a boyfriend as a teen. They broke up, but they were madly in love or whatever. They broke up. And then when your sim becomes a young adult, or even an adult, a buff pops up that says, remembering my high school love. And then because they got that buff, based on that memory, they can then go and like contact that ex or something like that. That'd be cool, but that's a different thing. Anyway, Walking Red Dead says, if scenarios in The Sims 4 were a combo of the quests or whatever they are trying to do right now, I'd be sold. Imagine if different ages, traits, careers had different scenarios your sim could engage in naturally in the gameplay. Or if the townies could give your sim scenarios, the lore, the stories. That is exactly what I'm saying they should have done. They should have integrated it into the game and made it to where, like this guy says, or like they say, I'm sorry, I don't know their gender. Like, based on your sim's age, based on your sim's trait, based on your sim's career, based on your sim's likes and dislikes, based on what your sim is doing currently in that moment, random pop-ups can come up for a scenario, and you can accept it or deny it. Or you could go and talk to a townie, and that townie could give you a scenario, kind of like with cottage living. How with cottage living you can get tasks. What are they called? You can like run errands for the townies. You could go talk to a random townie, and then that townie tells you, I haven't spoken to my long lost sister in 3 years. Could you find her for me? And then you can accept it or deny it, and then you can go around all the worlds and try to find this hoe's sister. Like, sorry to call her a hoe, but that would have been perfect. So that's why I wanted to come and read these tweets. But that's exactly what I'm saying, and that's how they should have done it. I feel like it was a good idea on the surface, but the execution, nah. Nah, on the execution. Again, we don't have them yet, so I can't say that, with 100% confidence, because maybe we'll get them and they'll be great. Maybe there's something they're not telling us, and they're going to add a whole lot of gameplay with each new scenario. I don't know. But that's all I really have to say about it. I didn't really mean for this video to be that long, but here we are. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you. I'm going to say goodbye on this screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will always respond to your comments. And please hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it, and I will see you all then. Bye, guys.